Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another installation of your favorite podcast, Smoke Break. Per usual, it's Izzy here with
Maddie
and
Riley.
And this week, we are going to talk to you guys about some conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
And I know that we all know a lot of those. I think we probably grew up in a generation who loved exploring conspiracy theories a lot more than other ones
100%.
because everyone in our generation is like weird and messed in the head a little
And
bit.
we have the internet.
Yes.
The internet.
We were all alive when Beyonce's internet evolved. Like, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Beyonce made the internet?
No, but like everyone's like, everything Beyonce does is so powerful that like she doesn't even have to announce an album. It's going to sell out. So everyone's like, I can't believe you posted a picture like that on Beyonce's internet. Like, you're not embarrassed. Yeah, it's a pop culture thing. You guys wouldn't understand because you live under us. But yeah, if one of you wants to explain, like, what is a conspiracy theory in your best words? Because I know some people watching may be like, what?
What is a conspiracy
Well,
theory?
you know what? Let me tell you, I'd be glad. I got it right here. A conspiracy theory is a belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible for a circumstance or event, and we all know which ones we are thinking of.
Some that come to mind would be the Illuminati.
Nah, that's proven. That's not a conspiracy theory anymore. That's absolutely just a thing.
No, but some of the things that they're supposedly responsible for are conspiracies.
You want to know, like...
Conspiracies in the U.S. government.
The government,
Lots of
definitely. But, like... A couple of them have been proven before, as we know.
Which is strange. So I think we should just talk on the first thing. Is like conspiracy theories are very real.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I feel like the only way a conspiracy theory gets as popular as it does is if there's actual like evidence.
Some
that's
truth
pointing
behind it.
toward exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, for instance, Bigfoot. Like that is a very viable conspiracy theory because according to evolution, if we evolved from apes, then of course it was going to be some big old hairy brawly something walking through the woods on 2 feet, leaving huge ass footprints behind.
Exactly.
It's been caught on video a few times, but like it's crazy because like you don't know like if it's real or not. Like it's so hard to tell. So like
Well,
you're
there's-
just kind of like.
And it's not even just that Bigfoot exists. There's another whole world to that where like they can do this like interdimensional travel and they use ways to
Bigfoot are you
communicate
talking
like
about?
the actual Bigfoot theories, like Colorado Bigfoot, like they
All right,
build.
I think you're a little bit more passionate about this
No,
one
no,
than we
no,
are.
no,
I want to hear this.
No,
I
I'm
wanna hear
interested too. I have no idea. I didn't
No,
know this was that
seriously.
deep.
So it goes so deep.
Like,
and
that's just the
it's
top of
not
the rabbit
even,
hole?
Yes.
Right,
So
we didn't even go down the rabbit hole.
Well, I think we're about to go down it right now.
So there's these structures that are built by those huge trees like in the mountains of Colorado, like
The
but
sequoias.
but they're ripped out of the ground, like the whole trees are ripped out of the ground and they're formed into like X's. And
That's just
stuff.
hillbillies on meth.
No. But how do you get a tree out of the ground without sawing it?
Like roots and everything.
Yeah, like it's literally
Uprooted?
ripped.
They have very big machines. But see, this is why
How do
conspiracy
you get
theories
those
are
machines
great.
up there?
This is why conspiracy theories are
That's
great.
a valid
Because
point.
you have people full of wonder and belief like her, which is 90% of us about conspiracy theories, but then there's always going to be that one person that has like a logical argument, and it's like, okay, if you can point to me a piece of machinery big enough to rip this tree up, I'll believe you.
It's like the same thing.
But
with
it's also like, how do you get the machinery up there without knocking down the trees?
I can see
Another
that.
machine. No.
There would be a path.
because sequoias
You
are
would-
pretty tightly packed. You know?
That's what I'm saying. And so, but there's tons of crazy shit.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend looking at it. It's fun.
That's wild.
And
Honestly,
it's
like,
just fun.
that's kind of why I'm happy that our generation also gets shows like Rick and Morty, because I think it helps us like explore these things a little bit more in depth. Like I know that.
It's like UFOs. Like UFOs gotta be some type of real.
Oh, you didn't know
yeah.
that literally the CIA has released documents recently in these past couple of years. Like it's actually proven all this stuff is real and everything. And I'm surprised that no one's talking about it.
So do we think that conspiracy theories have like actual credibility?
So
I'll put it this way. Something I've always believed in is folklore and conspiracies have to come from somewhere.
yes.
If we, as a species, couldn't even fucking figure out how to utilize fire for years of our evolution, what makes you think that we were smart or creative enough to dream up someone sucking someone's blood and turning them into a vampire, or to dream up a ghost, or to dream up a zombie or the Loch Ness Monster? Like, our imaginations, I'll put it this way. In your head right now, both of you, try to imagine a new color that you've never seen before.
I can't.
So that being said, you're telling me that people can just imagine and come up with a concept of a ghost or the devil or Bigfoot or
I mean,
mermaids?
I feel like if I had more time, yeah, I definitely could.
But you're telling me that if you saw something in the water and it was like you were just so if you saw a manatee, you'd be like that was a half human, half girl, and I'm gonna call it or half human, half fish. I'm gonna call it a mermaid.
I mean,
Like you literally eat
I see where you're
bread,
coming
rice,
from.
and milk like every day. There's no way you're getting the nutrition to power your brain.
I mean, our brains can't even create new faces that we've never
Yeah.
seen before.
Right. Like everything, every face you see in a dream is a rendering of a face that you've seen in real life once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like when conspiracy theories like come up, like when people like make them, especially like government conspiracy theories, like some of the information that they have sometimes like really lines up. So like there has to be like at least a little bit of truth behind it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe not like the whole thing, but like there's got to be like some truth sprinkled in there. You
And
know?
I think the term conspiracy theory was
Used to make
made-
people feel crazy.
yes. I think it was created by those people that these conspiracy theories are about.
About, yeah.
So like what else would like you call them? Like if you wouldn't call them a conspiracy theory.
I mean,
Enlightened.
Yeah.
Progressive.
thinking, actively thinking,
Right.
actively forming their own opinions.
That's true. Yeah.
Not sheep to the man.
The sheeple.
Breaking through the
Okay.
matrix.
Of course, there is a lot of. I think that a lot of these super silly conspiracy theories and like, I feel like they're popularized and used to like make people seem dumb for having these thoughts and
Like
coming
the
up with these
Mandela
things.
effect. Like, what do you mean you remember happening this way? It's always happened this way. Are you new? Like, did you just get here or something?
Well, that actually.
I know it's not a conspiracy theory.
Well,
but-
no, it's like a real thing, but people actually think that because of like experiments that have been done with time travel and stuff like that, and messing with atoms and stuff. I'm not a scientist, I don't know, but they think that actually the past has been altered for some people, and that's why some
So we
people.
have like deja vu and stuff.
I don't know, but that's why they think that not everyone experiences the Mandela effect, and some do and some don't, because like some stuff was messed with, and it actually did alter reality for some people.
That's weird. No,
That's a whole other
strange.
thing. I wish I knew more about it.
No.
We can go
the
so
conspiracy
deep
theory
down
behind
these,
that.
man. It's crazy.
The conspiracy theory behind why deja vu exists is that it's your body or your mind subconsciously remembering an activity or a like speech or like something like no matter what it is, it's just your body reliving that again, but you just weren't in this body when it happened the first time. So it's like deja vu is supposedly a way that connects our present experiences with our past lives.
Yeah, I don't get deja vu. It's weird.
Neither do I.
Like
Damn.
I don't understand it.
This shit blows my mind, let me tell you. This has
think-
got to be some of my favorite stuff to talk about easily.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think one of my favorite conspiracy theories is like definitely that the aliens helped build the pyramids.
Oh yeah.
Because there are so many things pointing that that's not a conspiracy theory. There are so many
The
things
angle they're
pointing to
pointed
that
at,
being
where
true.
they are.
They're all over the
directly
world,
on the
too.
equator.
Not only that, but everybody says that that shape is like the best shape for using things as beacons of energy. And then the top of them, all the pyramids in Egypt anyways, used to be gold, is what everyone thinks. So that was like supposedly some sort of big energy beacon thing.
I mean, dude,
But
they've been around for so
when you look
long.
in a lot of these like ancient paintings, what a lot of people can never tell you, like you can Google this now if you want to. So many ancient paintings and things that have been made millions of years ago have flying saucers in them, have UFOs in the background, and there's even, I don't know if it's a temple, a chapel, or even just like some historical site. Again, like thousands of years old, before space travel was even a concept, and there's a whole ass astronaut carved into the side of it in like a modern day spacesuit.
Yeah, we 100%
fucking
used to be
crazy,
smarter.
man.
Humans used to be way, 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 way smarter.
Yeah, it definitely used to be smarter, and I think that we're
It's like what
being
happened.
dumbed down now, so that way we're more easy to control. I think what happened is some people rose to power, and they wanted to make sure that them and their future generations would stay in power and stay comfortable, so they made everybody else become a part of this bigger machine, really, to call it. Where
I
like
mean, there's a way to kill thousands of people at once with sound waves. That technology exists.
yeah, but what good would that have done them to kill everybody?
Exactly.
They need people here making money and doing the hard job so they can live easily
Yeah,
and stay at the
exactly.
top.
No, I'm saying that could be used in war.
How did this conversation just jump?
Because
Like,
no,
where-
I'm
wait,
saying
where are we going?
like we have this technology and it's just crazy.
So you think we have more advanced technology
yeah.
than what they lead the public to believe?
I mean, the crazy experience with that the Nazis were doing and everything, like the holes they were digging, the sounds they were hearing down there and everything. And I
don't know if you guys ever saw this experiment, but there's literally been a video taken, and sorry, little trigger warning, kind of scary. I believe it happened in Russia where they had a husky. They fully decapitated the husky. They kept the head of the husky alive without the body, and then attached it to either back to the same body or to the body of another dog, and that husky was still alive.
Bro, what?
Well, you could do that with, I mean, God, I didn't know you could do that with a dog, but you can do that with
like,
axolotls.
No, but like that was one of like the first little. Let me see if I can find it, because that's like, if I'm lying right now.
My favorite conspiracy theory ever gotta be the JFK assassination.
Let's elaborate on that.
Well, that one will always be and forever be the craziest conspiracy theory, like government-wise, of all time. All right, so you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
Where was Abraham Lincoln assassinated?
Wasn't he assassinated at the movie theater?
What was the movie theater called?
I don't know.
The Kennedy Theater.
Oh, wow.
So there's been 2 presidents that have been assassinated in the time since we've had presidents. So over, we'll say like 200 years, right?
Yeah.
Around that time? 250 years, somewhere around there. The only 2 of them have been assassinated. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in Kennedy Theater, and JFK, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I might have to go back and check on this, but he was assassinated inside of a Lincoln car.
Oh, hold on. There's some buzzing, actually. Not me.
Is it mine?
Yeah, it was. Now it's gone.
Anyway, he was assassinated inside of a model Lincoln car.
Oh, wow.
And it was exactly a certain amount of time apart. I forget how long it was, but there's like a whole bunch of things that line up with everything that happened. And
wow.
How was Lincoln assassinated?
Shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
How was JFK assassinated?
Oh, wow.
All right. That's insane. But
that's crazy.
Riley, you can choose to put this on the screen or not. I'm going to show you guys the video that I just found. Literally decapitated head. And it's unfortunate, but they have it hooked up to blood and everything. And look at it blinking. Look at the brain activity still there. They take a feather to tickle it, and look. It has normal reactions. It's just only a head, so it can't do much.
Yo, that's fucking crazy.
And look, they're putting citric acid on it. It's like a sour taste.
But it's like, how long ago did they cut the body off, you know?
I'm not going to play anything, but look, it has like full function too. And I'll show you the little diagram of what it was. And like, that's just crazy to me. Like the fact that, like you said, technology like this exists.
Yeah,
We're definitely being kept
this
this stupid for a reason. So that's what they did. They had the dog dead. They got the dead body. They had a little blood reserve. They had a pump to pump blood through the arteries. And they brought brain activity back.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't, you know, as long
as keeping a heart alive when you're ready for a transplant.
Right.
Just pumping blood through it.
But the fact that they say that, right? And then the second that a person is pronounced brain dead or dead, like they can't bring them back, but you have I don't know.
Well, no, because when your brain is dead, that's a whole different story. But if your body's dead, your brain can definitely still function as long as it's getting blood and oxygen. That's all it needs.
Ew, wait, actually, I did hear something about that. I do not know if you guys know this, but say you're like on a jog or roller skating, and again, this is like a little morbid sidetrack, but say you're like on a jog or roller skating. If you get decapitated while you're doing that activity, or even skateboarding or something, your body will not get the signal that your brain is not connected anymore and tell it to stop running for another 5 or 10 seconds after. So you could like stay fully erect and like take a few more steps jogging while you're decapitated, and then your body will fall because it will get like the signal from your nerves that like we don't have anything telling us what to do anymore.
It takes time. It's not instant. Like it takes a second.
Like, could you imagine seeing someone on a run just down the street in Boston and they have like no head?
That'd be so scary.
Bro, I would literally just be like, oh, another day in Boston.
Yeah, for real.
Another day on Mass Ave.
Cambridge.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway.
But so, like that's actually crazy. The JFK assassination, like
so what I said was crazy, but like get this. So like everybody's saying like, oh, like, you know, they did it because like, him and Marilyn Monroe were doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
trying to defund the like CIA and stuff. All right, so here's me personally what I think happened, and I think this is probably the most plausible conspiracy theory out there of how or why JFK was assassinated. I think it was because, and there's not just me that thinks this. Like there's a whole like a bunch of articles about it, but I think the CIA killed him because JFK didn't want like this. So the CIA basically was like planning on killing Fidel Castro. There's a whole like Call of Duty mission about it.
And for those of you who don't know what the CIA is, I believe it's like the
Central
Intelligence Agency of the United States.
Bunch of sketchy stuff they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, found out the CIA was trying to kill Fidel Castro, and I guess JFK was not too fond of that idea because it probably would have started a really big war, and Cuba and the Soviet Union were really big allies. So I can see why he probably didn't want that to happen. And the former head of the CIA, Alan Dulles, was a member of the Warren Commission, which was like a Lyndon B. Johnson appointed panel in the CIA that was tasked with like officially investigating the assassination. So basically, the people who killed him were the ones investigating it. So
Sounds about right.
Just
For
like
the
when,
CIA.
and so basically all they came out with was Oswald, the guy who actually they say shot him. They said that he just acted alone and just was a crazy
Of course, yeah.
guy and just one day just tried to shoot him. But like I feel like there's way more behind it because
Well, I mean,
assassinating a president is by far, by any means, an easy task.
let's not forget about the mind control that was, I mean, what was it called? Okay, so the CIA invented LSD, first of all, for mind control experiments and to control these kinds of people and to get them to do these sorts of things. And that guy may have been one of those subjects.
I have another conspiracy now. I just kind of created it in my head. This might already be one as to why JFK got assassinated.
Let's hear it.
So, as we
I'm
all
open to
know,
anything at this
there
point.
are many, many, many allegations saying that Miss Monroe and our beloved old president JFK were having quite the affair. And if
They
this
definitely were.
to be true,
Have you seen
it
Jackie
could
Kennedy?
be-
She just looks like fucking Sid the Sloth.
Hey, okay, we're just gonna skip past that. But I just did a little bit of Google research. So it turns out my girl, Miss Monroe, died in 1962. If they were having an affair and that was really the person that Miss Monroe loved, that could have drawn Kennedy to being distraught and being all sad, and he could have wanted to come to light as to who killed America's sweetheart at the time. Because everyone says that the CIA was the one who killed Marilyn Monroe too. They say it was an inside job.
Yeah.
So what if he was being driven so crazy that his estranged lover was just killed by the same people who were sworn to protect him by secrecy, that he was threatening to come public and let people know that, like, hey, your government killed everyone's favorite Hollywood starlet right now. And the CIA was like, we got to stop this from getting out. This man knows too much.
So I think that's totally valid, except for the fact that it was an affair. So he would have
It's
had
not
to
like it
expose
was a
himself
secret
at the
affair,
same
though.
time.
Everyone, I'll put
It
it this
wasn't
way.
exactly. They weren't.
It wasn't a
exactly
secret. They weren't
sneaky about it.
exactly
Oh,
discreet
okay.
about anything. And the only reason that the dress that Kim Kardashian wore to the Met Gala got so famous and as famous as it did was because Marilyn Monroe sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" in that dress. And that, for the time, that being nude colored and having the drips all over her, when you're far back in the stands, it literally looked like her naked body was just covered in jewels. So that's why the dress was so famous. It was incredibly scandalous. And then the way she sang the song in that dress, that happy, like, you know, like the sensual, like sultry, everyone's like,
Whoa,
like, you know,
what's
that
going
was
on
just,
here?
that was like the icing on the cake for everybody at the time. For
So
like,
I've
that
heard
was
that
what
before.
confirmed. That was what like confirmed to everybody in America. They're like, oh yeah, they're certainly having an affair, because why did she just sing this to him like they're about to go home later and celebrate his birthday for real?
And you probably
Speaking of
can
that, you
bet your
guys.
bottom dollar they did.
Wait, ready? So I have a picture of myself next to that dress.
That's crazy.
So
It's just like so wild to me how like.
that's my mom and I at the Marilyn Monroe auction in New York when I was a baby, and
Oh my
that's me next to
goodness.
the dress.
That dress is crazy.
And the Ripley's, believe it or not,
With
is who
the
ended up with it.
old
Oh my
camera
goodness!
flash.
Wait, is that her like silhouette framed in that?
Yeah, like it's a mannequin.
But is it of her exact silhouette or no?
Probably, because I mean it fit the dress perfectly.
You wonder what's crazy about the JFK stuff too, and like Donald Trump.
I just
Like,
wanted to-
remember when Donald Trump, like when he was president, he released like a bunch of like CIA like declassified
Oh
documents.
yeah, that was crazy.
And like he released the JFK files and stuff, and there was just absolutely nothing in there.
Yep.
It was just basically a bunch of nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
so you gotta like think something probably sketchy.
Something happened
at
along
least,
his time
you
in
know?
presidency where they had to wipe that whole file clean.
Facts, and the CIA probably has a lot of files wiped clean on a lot of
Or
people.
what if JFK was infiltrated by and got influenced by either the aliens or the reptilians of this planet?
Nah. See, now you're reaching.
I'm
I don't
literally
think
just fucking around.
presidents, I don't think usually even have access to that sort of information.
No, they don't.
Except for was it Richard Nixon who actually
The Nixon administration was the one who
So
Area 51, all this shit. Yeah.
MUFON?
Oh,
Yeah, he
That
had
was a
access
shit show
to
too.
MUFON.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
He literally single-handedly started the conspiracy on marijuana and it being bad for people. Like he started the conspiracy that marijuana makes you a lazy murderer.
I mean, it could,
Yeah, I could see why they would say that.
but it doesn't make you a murderer. It can make you lazy, but you need to find.
Don't agree with Nixon. It was used to target black communities. God.
I didn't know that part.
All right, so like other conspiracy theories that we have, like pretty well known. So like we got the whole 9/11 debacle, the moon landing, and then like Antarctica, which I know is Maddie's big one.
Antarctica is a big one for me too. You cannot tell me that Antarctica is a legitimate place aside from it just being one huge ass government lab, because my thing is, Antarctica is the only place on this planet.
It's not
The
owned by any
only
country.
place on this planet that every single country in the world has signed a treaty saying that if somebody goes and trespasses here, we can take legal action or kill them.
So I think it's because
every
they
every country in the
found
world literally
something.
says we cannot go here, and I don't think it's because they found something. I
think
think
it's
it's because they're doing something.
I think
Because
it's
if they
because
found something, let's be real. If they did find something, chances are they maintained communications with something, and they can keep it contained to one area. You know.
That's why.
So I think, like, the fact that 99.9% of Antarctica is off limits just makes me think that it's like a huge ass, like Area 51, U.S. has that. I think it's like the Area 51, but for all the countries to come together.
I feel like
Just a worldwide Area 51.
I saw a graphic not too long ago, probably a couple of months ago, that they were saying that Antarctica on a map is not even close to the size it actually is.
So
Like,
it's
apparently
actually.
Antarctica is massive.
I'm trying to find it,
Yeah.
but if you look at it on Google Earth, there's actually a whole circle, and
That's
right in
just
the middle,
blurred out,
that's just
that you
it's
can't
just blurred.
see. It's just blurry.
Yeah, and that circle is where they say the opening to inner Earth is.
I was going to say, a lot of people say that the tunnel to Agartha, which is what they believe that the society that, like, the inner Earth people live in, is there. And that's another conspiracy theory that, like, I fully
Well, that's a whole nother one in itself.
kind of, like, believe in, because where else would we get the as above, so below from?
Also, like, have you ever seen the middle of the Earth? I mean, I haven't.
No.
We don't have pictures of it. We don't even have a picture of our actual Earth.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, everything on this planet was just part of, like, a huge ass machine, like the soil that we use, like, actually fuel or some shit. I don't like come on, come the fuck on.
Well, I saw the Joe Rogan episode with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's a really good episode. Like, you definitely should watch that if
I
you get
love
a chance.
Degrassi.
This fly is a paid actor.
Facts. And so he was saying that, so the distance between the highest point on Earth, so like Mount Everest, K2, like that, like 26,000 feet, and then the lowest point of Earth is Marianas Trench in the Pacific Ocean, which is like,
Which what the
I
hell
think
is
it's
down
like
there?
11,000 feet deep. So the distance between the lowest point on Earth and highest point on Earth is about the length of Manhattan. So it's like, I think it's like 11 miles, maybe? Something like that. Anyway,
That's wild.
If you were to shrink down, so our Earth is such a perfect sphere that if you were to like shrink it down and rub your finger across it, it would be this like smoother than a sphere. Like it would be so incredibly smooth. Like that's how even
it would feel like
Earth's,
a cue ball.
Like planes
That's what
are.
it says. It would like literally feel like a pool ball.
Yeah, a cue ball. That's what he said. A cue ball. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
I just think it's like wild. Like it's, I don't know. This is like one of those episodes where like we could literally just go on and go on and go on.
There's
We're
so
not
many
allowed to, but it's just like it's so.
conspiracy theories, man.
I'll ask this so that way we can like kind of segue and make this a little bit more streamlined. In 5 minutes or less, no, 5 minutes or less. That's a long time to hear one of us talk. In like a few sentences, what's your favorite conspiracy theory and why do you subscribe to it so heavily?
Well, I mean, mine's obviously got to be the JFK one, just because I feel like there's so much credibility behind a lot of the things that people have come up with, and there's been like proven, pretty like outgoing interviews with like people from back then, and just like some of the things like when you actually like dive into it, just really don't add up to the point where you're like, all right, something probably happened that they don't want people to know about, and
Yeah.
I just think it's the most plausible one out of all of them.
For me personally, it's like, oh, did this certain celebrity like just join the Illuminati, or like did this celebrity sell their soul type of thing? Because half the time you're seeing like a celebrity and they're like going through that type of thing and it's a conspiracy theory. It's like their career blew up overnight.
Yeah.
Like, like Billie Eilish, there was a conspiracy theory about her, and she literally had Ocean Eyes on iTunes or on SoundCloud for like 3 or 4 years. And you're telling me that just one random ass day in 2015, 2016, that song blew the fuck up and she went to stardom overnight?
That's like Juice WRLD in the 21 Club, like Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, like all of these rappers.
Have you
and
heard
stuff.
the conspiracy theory? I forgot who it was, but there was, and then Maddie, I'll go to you. I'll just say this real quick, but who's that rapper that got killed most recently? Who was like shot?
Oh,
Pop Smoke?
No, not.
But you know what, Pop Smoke,
PNB Rock.
PNB Rock, and Pop Smoke and XXS were like a part of this conspiracy. But I guess every single
Well,
artist
Juice
signed,
WRLD was a part of it.
and Juice WRLD is every artist signed to that specific thing gets passed down this chain to them, and every artist that
No,
wears
it's a ring.
There's a chain too.
Well, there's a ring too, the
But
star ring.
The star ring and the star chain, and every artist that's been like photographed in that from that record label has been killed within like a year or two of being
They're
photographed
all
wearing it.
from the same record.
And
label.
they're all from the same record label. And the most common thing that happens too, which is why I think this record label needs to be investigated. 90% of the time when these people die, the record label within a year or two has taken out a life insurance policy on that artist. Like they took out a life insurance policy, and then when she was on the way back from filming her Rock the Boat music video, Aaliyah's playing Claire Ashton, she died.
Like Juice WRLD.
Wow.
Somebody snitched the cops, and they were all waiting for him at an airport. Took a bunch of
Of his pills,
Xanax,
so he wouldn't get
Percocets,
caught with them. He
pills,
ended up having
died.
a seizure.
Pop Smoke posted a thing on his Instagram. Shot.
PNB Rock's girlfriend posted something, and everybody blamed her for that. But it's like
Shot. X went to go buy look
X
at
was
dirt
literally
bikes.
he
Shot.
wasn't. No, he wasn't even. He was when he was shot. He was just chilling in the passenger or driver's side seat of his car, just chilling in the car, and someone came in and shot through the crack in
I
the window.
remember
He was
that,
driving.
in
He was
Miami.
about to pull out of the like whatever the motorcycle dealership was.
Yeah.
And just.
What's
just
your
like that.
favorite one that you subscribe to, and why?
I think those are so. I mean, I love the celebrity ones. I mean, also Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington were both working on. So so they're like rock artists.
All right.
They were.
That
They
was
were
the
both.
clarification I was looking for.
So they were very famous, very very talented. R.I.P. They're amazing. They were both killed exactly a month apart. Definitely killed because they both were working on a documentary exposing the Hollywood pedophile ring.
So was
Oh, Bourdain.
No,
No, not Bourdain.
actor, blonde hair, blue eyes, Fast and the Furious.
Chris.
No.
Wait, what?
Paul Walker.
Paul
Paul-
Walker.
Paul Walker.
He was doing the same thing. Boom, died in a car crash.
Yeah.
But what about that guy who's like, he was actually recently just doing that. I don't know if he passed away or not, but there was a child actor recently trying to do that too, but I haven't heard much of him since.
There's a whole bunch of sketchy shit going
Oh,
on.
his name
in
was
Hollywood.
like
I have
Chris something
I have no idea.
from Glee.
Mine wasn't from Glee. So I mean, I guess it's a lot of celebrities come out with this.
Also,
stuff.
what happened to that girl from Glee?
Yeah.
That one made no sense. The drowning in the lake, it made no sense.
The story behind it that they put together was very, very plausible and feasible. I can't say, obviously none of us know exactly what happened. We weren't there, but it is kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I really like the Inner Earth conspiracy theory.
The Antarctica one?
I think it's so fun to read about
too.
because the Richard E. Byrd, I think that's his name, Richard E. Byrd, he was an admiral. He was on a mission back in the 60s, was flying over Antarctica, and his plane...
If we tried to do that now, we'd get shot down.
Well, he was working for the government, and he was on a mission.
Suddenly I want to join the Air Force.
Yeah, he was like patrolling. I don't know what he was doing. And he had to fly over Antarctica, and his plane pretty much completely shut off while he was in the air. The engine completely shut off. And now we know all this because he was logging it in his log the entire time live.
Okay, so like was he just like gliding through the sky?
Yeah, so get this. So he realized all the engines shut off, but he was still totally fine. His plane, he was like, it's like I'm in some sort of force field or something.
Field or something
yeah,
keeping him
exactly. And so then he looks and he sees on either side of him 2 other aircrafts, and they're guiding him. And he heard their voice somehow. I don't know if it was like through his radio or something, but they started talking to him and were like, hello, like, we're gonna, like, whatever, don't worry, like, we got you. And they lowered him into the ground, like, below the surface, into this new world. And it was, like, this beautiful, modern world.
I was going to say Journey to the Center of the Earth, that movie? Like
yeah. And these people were, like...
sketchy's got to be going on down
and so, he got out of his aircraft, they parked him and everything, and he got out, and, like, he came in, and they gave him, like, something to drink, and they, like, had this whole conversation.
Yeah, they were probably like, we don't talk to y'all because y'all dumb.
Yeah, they were really trying to, like, come to an understanding.
Right, and well, they're probably like, why the fuck are y'all killing the earth and each other? Because we've been underneath y'all living peacefully for years, and you're going to fuck it up for us.
Yeah, and so he wasn't allowed to say a peep about this forever,
of course. My thing is just
died,
because, imagine you go back and you go to, like, report to your admirals what's going on, and the second you report it, they tell their higher-ups, and their higher-ups know what's going on, so, like, put him in the straitjacket in the padded room. He came back, he must be crazy after that crash. It must be PTSD.
Right. Well, he was an admiral. So he was like Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
No, I'm saying like their higher ups, like the people in charge of the army itself and everything. If he were to go back, because his higher ups definitely were up in their ranks. So if he were to go back to them, all it would have taken is like, that's PTSD. He's crazy. It's time to put him in a straitjacket and throw him in a room.
Yeah,
it's the CIA. I'm telling you.
Pretty wild. There's a lot of crazy stuff. I love the alien stuff and the inner earth stuff. The sci-fi stuff. I love it.
I'll put it this way. I like the stuff that is more or less realistic, but not scary. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to believe that the inner earth and that aliens exist, and I would love to believe that they are going to be peaceful when they choose to make contact. Because that's cool as fuck. And honestly, I would probably be one of the few people on this planet, not to toot my own horn and pat myself on the back. I honestly feel like if I was approached by an alien creature and it was speaking my language, I'd probably have little to no anxiety. Like, if it was like, hey, Izzy, like, we want to speak with you and, like, communicate with you. Can you relay this message? I'd be like, girl, sure. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I would be fucking terrified.
No, I feel like, obviously, just like anybody else would be like, I'd be shaking. But I'd be like, as long as you don't kill me, fine. And if you are going to probe anywhere, do it quick and kill me fast.
I'd be like, everything we know is a lie.
I think aliens try really hard to make contact with us. But our government, like... There's been things about, like, them shooting down UFOs and stuff.
But, like, who found them?
I don't think they want to make contact anymore.
Yeah, exactly. No, they don't.
Because why? Yeah. Let's put it this way, and here's my way of thinking. Here's my conspiracy about this whole thing, right? If you are a species from another planet who has become advanced enough to develop, like, hypersonic time travel, like, travel through time and space, like, to, like, quantum leap, whatever people may call it, then you've definitely reached a level of harmony on your planet to where all the top scientists, all the top minds are working together to achieve this. Because as Earth has proven, every country has amazing technology, but we can't work together enough to fuse that technology and create super machines. And if we do, we do it in secret.
I mean...
So I think they're looking at us like, why the hell would we want these people to join a federation of planets when they're fighting and killing off their own people in civil wars every day?
Well, the thing is, if you're... why would a super wealthy, successful, powerful human want to ever give up that position?
They wouldn't.
Exactly. So that's why they don't want these aliens coming in and fixing shit.
But it's also
because
it's like, why would an alien want to come in and fix something that
aliens-
they have nothing to do with?
aliens
Like,
don't
give a
have
fuck.
cancer.
Unless
you
they're
know?
using us as
Aliens-
some sort of power plant, they don't care.
And I think that we do have cures for cancer too, and that's another all of the
I bet you
problems
we've had cures
we
for
have
cancer
forever.
for years now.
We have all these problems still because they make
Yeah.
so much money.
Like we can fully, if we really wanted to, we could most likely like cure a lot of these diseases that are in the world. Like a lot of people, we have medicine right now that will make people who are HIV or AIDS positive, it can literally get them to undetectable, which undetectable means like you can no longer pass it on through unprotected sex or anything. So that being said, like if they can get it all the way there, I'm pretty sure they can take it all the way out of your system somehow, you know?
And like you're telling me that the galaxy's so big and like it's so like mind-boggling big that you're telling me that we're the only form of intelligent life in the
It's
whole
so
galaxy.
Also, no,
narcissistic
not
to
only
think
that
that.
though, but it's like we also have to think of like these celebrities that get these life-altering injuries that are somehow found a couple months later. Like after Kevin Hart was in that car accident that his driver got him into, he was paralyzed from the neck down, and articles came out, Kevin Hart may never work again, like he's expected to be paralyzed for the rest of his life. 3-4 months later, he's headlining his own shows again.
I mean, the Queen of England lived, forever.
And this opens up the conspiracy theory about clones. But did you guys see this picture, speaking of aliens? This is supposedly 100% real, and it's a solar eruption.
Supposedly 100%.
Well, no, it's a solar eruption, and people
we
are
can't
saying
validate it, you know.
people are saying that it's a UFO. So NASA captured this picture, and when they zoomed in, they're trying to say it's just a solar eruption. But do you see that circle right there?
Yeah.
People are saying, how do we know that that's not an alien species who has learned how to harness the energy of these powerful stars, stealing from our sun and going back to their solar system and using that power?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's
like you never know.
so big,
I mean,
man.
we haven't even figured out gravity yet. Let's humble ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, why do we act like we know everything when we haven't even figured out how we stand on the floor?
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't think gravity is real. I think it's one of those
I
things
just
that
threw all over myself.
and I just
We
dropped
need
a
to-
bottle on the floor.
We're
yeah.
gonna cut that out.
I mean, I'll put it this way. How do we even know that gravity is real? Just because one person said that, oh, this is gravity. Gravity is this, and gravity exists
Well, no.
because, we know that there's like a force and
There's
an attraction.
scientific equations.
Well,
that
we haven't
prove
actually
gravity.
solved
But,
gravity yet.
How do we know
haven't.
exactly? Right.
There's equations that
There's equations that solve everything. Like this whole planet's literally a math equation. If you actually look at it.
gravity is a thing. Like I think that's a reach.
No, gravity's a thing, but we actually
No, but
haven't
it's like,
figured out
how
what
do we
it
know
is
like
yet.
what gravity actually is? Like what
We
the
do know
concept
what
of it.
gravity is. There's a dictionary definition of gravity.
No, they haven't actually solved gravity yet.
Bro, gravity. The Earth rotates very fast around a plane.
How do we even know that?
A constant plane, because it's been proven. It's proven. This type of stuff this has been proven. Like it's common knowledge.
But I mean, NASA's the only people who have sent people from our country into space to be relaying this knowledge to us, and they're a government agency. So how can we trust
Okay,
what
but-
they're saying is true?
NASA wasn't even.
Gravity remains one of the great mysteries of modern physics. There remains no complete or perfect theory as to how gravity actually works.
It's because it's people in inner Earth holding
pretty
magnets
much
under our
know
feet,
how
under all.
gravity works.
It's the inner Earth people holding magnets under everything, and the iron in our blood keeps us on the ground.
But like, you want to know what I think is crazy? You said about NASA is NASA was originally appointed to the government to like map the oceans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they went from mapping the oceans to wanting to get us off the planet as
Because whatever
quickly
the
as
fuck
possible.
they found in the oceans, we're like, nope.
So I think they found something absolutely crazy, whether it was like some type of creature or like.
I mean, have you guys even?
Whole
I think
or
it's
something.
I think it's an
seen-
alien civilization.
Have you
to
guys
be fully
seen even
honest with
just
you.
the deep sea rover footage? Like,
Yeah.
as deep as we can get.
Oh no, I watch it
It's-
all the time. It's
they look like
terrifying.
aliens.
It's
those
terrifying.
things. They look like aliens.
And can we also explore the idea and the very real thing of deep sea gigantism?
Yeah, why not?
Have you seen the video of that
I'm just saying,
jellyfish
like,
off the oil rig?
Right. These things are
Hundreds of feet long.
massive, and
Yeah.
you're gonna sit here like literally,
Hundreds of
Maddie.
feet
That
long.
jellyfish was like damn near the length of a football field.
Yeah. Can you
And
imagine
another
running
thing
up
that's
on one of those
absolutely
swimming one
crazy
day?
too is like when you're down that deep in the ocean, just like you are up in space, what happens is like you'll see these white specks, like they're stars. It's called marine snow. It's just like a bunch of like gross shit literally
Particles
coming
and
down to the
stuff.
bottom of the ocean, and it's gonna be pitch black, just like it would be in space. So what a lot of people believe is that somewhere at the bottom, and again, this is the people who subscribe to the theory as above, so below, like very religiously. But a lot of people believe that if you go deep enough into the ocean, like you will ultimately end up somewhere in space. As
Holy
weird
shit.
as it is. There's a lot of people that believe that the
Yeah,
ocean
that's gonna
is like,
send me for one.
because it's like as above, so below. So it's like
The movie.
what really
yeah.
scared NASA out of the ocean like that. Like Riley is telling nothing but the truth. And you're telling me now that we've explored more of the moon than we have the original job that you were given?
But we've mapped 7% of the ocean.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the only thing that I think deep sea giants, I think it's a really fun thing to believe, but the only concern I have with that is what would they be eating? You know what I
That's
mean?
what we don't know.
No, we do know. The giant squid, their food of choice is the sperm whale. If you ever see videos, sperm whales dive damn near to the bottom of the ocean. There are countless images of sperm whale carcasses with scratches all over their faces,
Massive
all over their
scratches.
bodies.
No way.
Because the squid tentacles have barbs on them. So those scratches were scars from getting into fights with giant squid.
So the giant squid are that giant?
They're massive.
They're like, some of them can be upwards of 200 or 300 feet long, my love. These
They're
things are
huge.
huge.
Like the massive
Like the
jellyfish.
ones that you see come up to the surface that washed up are babies that have died.
This is the longest length, 7.4 feet.
That's a
Oh, the
baby that's been
longest
captured.
one on record is 43 feet.
That was a baby that died and was
Yeah.
captured. The only ones that are that small are the babies.
The longest length of a squid on record is 43 feet.
on record.
On record.
There have been countless things where scuba divers are down on dives. Not scuba divers. These submarines are down on dives.
Underwater welders
And you
and
know
stuff.
how they have like 2 foot wide
Yeah.
circular windows?
Yeah.
There have been many stories of these people coming back from their submarines being like, I went to look out the window and when we turned on the light, it was just an eye the same circumference staring back in. Like curious as fuck as to what these random ass flashing lights at the bottom of the ocean are.
And there's
What?
there's a video of that
That's so sick.
that went
What?
around. I think it was during the pandemic, and it was this like there's a name for the jellyfish, but I don't quite remember it off the top of my head. But it was down the bottom, like a camera was drilling down into
Was
the
it the
bottom.
vampire jellyfish?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was massive, like hundreds of feet long. Like the camera panned for like 30 seconds straight up and down.
Maddie, I'll
and
show you.
It couldn't see the end of it.
Look, so there's
wow.
this one. I turned my volume down so there's no overdwelling, but shot by a remote operated vehicle. So this is like no one's even in this. Could you imagine being in this down at the bottom of the ocean? And then all you see is this thing
That's
cascading
insane.
towards you.
Like the ocean is so big, like we
And
don't
then
even.
not only that, but look at this one. Have you guys ever seen these?
Oh, is that the green one? With the like sticks hanging
Yeah,
out
look
of its
at it.
head? Yeah, look at how long that thing is.
Look at it, Maddie.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
And it literally looks like
What?
something that you put over your baby's bed to spin.
Could you imagine
And
that
play
thing?
That
music.
is so. Oh my god, I hate
Could
that.
you imagine that thing
Yeah.
rubbing up against you, bro?
Oh my god.
I would never go in the ocean again.
However, one of my favorite deeper sea creatures, I think it's absolutely beautiful, the vampire squid. Have you guys ever seen it?
Oh, it looks like a bat. Yeah, yeah.
Look at how beautiful that is.
Oh yeah, it's so pretty.
But like, what are those fish that have the light over their head?
Oh, the anglerfish.
Anglerfish. Those things
are huge.
can get massive too, and they live so
Those
deep
are so
down.
scary.
And all these
Have you guys ever seen the giant clams?
and all these animals that live like way down there can like withstand the pressure.
That's the
down
reason that
deep.
they're that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy.
SpongeBob was not kidding. All those episodes where they had the giant clams, look at how big that clam is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Huge. Like
It's absolutely insane,
Yeah.
the just raw size of these things. So a lot of people believe that it's like, no, like those are actually like alien creatures down there. And when you think about it too, it's like most of them are pretty intelligent given what they are. Like the ways that they've been able to like do communication and like get all these things, like I don't know if you guys
Just
know this, but
survive
there are
down
like
there in
there are
general.
worldly governments that literally have like the Russian government has beluga whales trained to like help them on missions and shit.
What?
Like there has been things of like, oh, like you're gonna have to Google it because I'm not remembering the exact things. But our Navy SEALs, like our government, has used dolphins and has used animals before.
Yeah, that's
the
fact.
Russian government uses beluga whales because they're so smart and trainable.
Makes sense.
And I'm
Like-
just like, what if that's really some sort of like little secret alien civilization down there, and they're helping us in exchange for information on us?
See, that's another conspiracy theory we can get into. Like, there's so many that there's just so many rabbit holes that you can fall down to with this stuff.
There's
It's crazy.
millions.
Unfortunately, it's one of those things where like you start by looking up one YouTube video and then you end up on like how the pyramids really got
Yeah.
there. Like, you know what I
And
mean?
you
I mean-
look up at the clock and it's been like 4 hours.
What
Right,
about
you're like,
the-
oh shit, it's 5 a.m. I have to get ready
Yeah.
for work.
Have
Exactly.
you guys ever read into the ones about the disappearing people?
Yeah.
Like in
State parks.
yeah, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Oh.
those are super interesting because a lot of them crisscross with like the profile of the people. So a lot of people have like special needs, or a lot of people have special needs or some sort of problem.
Physical
Yeah, like
or mental
physical
disability.
Like they're disability. That was the word I was looking
Well,
for.
they go missing like 4 times the national average.
There was a
in
little
some
girl
places.
that went missing, and she was 4 years old, I believe. I think it was a girl. They found her on like the top of like a mountain, like crazy elevation, after a snowstorm. After like days, like 5 days, totally fine.
It's the Wendigo.
There was something about like the dog man or
Have you-
something.
have
and
you
she
heard
said
about
something
those,
a
the
dog-
Wendigos?
No.
So basically, it's like an old like Native American like folklore type of thing, but like people have caught or supposedly caught these things on camera, and they can like mimic human voices and like they can shapeshift into like humans and animals and stuff like that, and they're just like
It's one of the biggest reasons that like a
Yeah.
lot of people say, I mean, obviously the more modern, like Americanized versions, like you're gonna get kidnapped or like murdered while you're on this trail, be careful. But that was the reason that everybody, like way back when, even a lot of Native Americans would be like, we need to see like your footprint in the ground to see exactly what type of trail you're leaving. So if we have to look for you, we know what trails to follow, like all this stuff. Like there's so many precautions.
And so there was there's a show I think on Netflix. It was called
It went so loud in my ears.
I don't remember what it's called. Something Ranch. It was about one of those creatures, and like they showed a map where it was like they showed like the sightings of the creature, and then like the amount of people who went missing in that area
Yeah.
over a certain amount of time, and it was like quadruple like the average people go missing, like was quadruple what.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a bunch of
It should've been.
documentaries on it.
But
Super
then we also
interesting.
have to think too is like, do we think that these people are more prone to be getting taken by these supernatural things? Because like, how many humans have gone missing and it was that fault?
Yeah.
Like they probably have enough research on us. They're probably like, well, let's research these other types of humans and like see.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know. It's absolutely insane. Like
There's
I
just
said, like
so- we
about
could
this
talk for days
hours
about
and
this, man.
hours, but do you guys have any last thoughts on like just conspiracy theories in general?
I
I
just
think-
think some of them, as time goes on, are gonna start to.
Proven to be true?
Yeah. Well, a lot of them already have, and they're
Yeah.
just slowly starting to come out. And I feel like as time goes on, more of these
Honestly,
conspiracy
part of me
theories will
thinks
start to
there
come
are.
out.
I think they are most likely 99.9% of them are true. It's not a matter of
To an extent. To an extent.
I don't
to an
think it's a
extent.
matter of them coming to light. I think it's a matter of our government deciding that we're ready to soak in the knowledge that they want to give us. Because when you think about it, if they were to drop this
Speaking
bomb on
facts
all
over
of
here.
us, if they were to sit here today and look us dead in the eyes and be like, the reason you guys all haven't been able to go to Antarctica is because that's the entrance to Middle Earth. First of all, the entire human population is freaking the fuck out because what else have you been lying to us about this entire time? And second of all, a good 30 to 50% of us are then immediately flocking to Antarctica in search of this new, better world where we're going to fuck up that.
And I feel like a lot of us would be like, "Pfft, yeah, I could have told you that. They were calling me crazy. I was saying this stuff
tons of
20
people.
years
and
ago.
those people
Yeah, I
would
could
be
have told you that.
so pissed.
Yeah.
Right, and at that point, it's just like, why the fuck did I just have to sit in this room with padded walls for 5 years? Like, I told you exactly, like, you know?
Government business, shady
But-
government
What about
business.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories, I think they're a lot of fun.
They are.
They
I
are
think
for
they're
sure.
so much fun, and I think,
Then they're not scary.
yeah. No, even when they are scary, they're so much fun, and I think it's a good way to also kind of escape reality and think about, like, you know, there's a lot of bigger things going on.
Yeah.
Just kind of think
It's
outside
like
the
a way
box
to
a little
make
bit.
yourself, like, ground you again, you know?
Yeah, it's like, you know,
It's like, holy shit, I guess my car breaking down isn't the biggest
Right,
issue when we
there's
have
crazy
aliens
shit.
inside of our presidents.
there's
Like,
crazy shit going on in this world, and it's good to remind yourself of those
that
things.
sounded
sometimes.
very bad. What I meant is, like, the presidents are just wearing meat suits and they're all from other planets.
Yes.
But
Meat suits. That
But I
wasn't
think
any
it's
better.
important to.
Lady Gaga wore one to the VMAs.
I think what comes with conspiracy, with
Conspiracy
liking
theory.
conspiracy, with digging into these conspiracy theories, I feel like we also have to be mindful with the fact that
reality
don't
aspect of
don't
it.
let it ruin your day. You know, and it's
Yeah.
like I think that they should be treated as a fun thing. And
You
I
can't
think
get too caught up.
you can't let it consume
You
you.
know, yeah.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to make a change, and at the end of the day, you're not gonna, because it's no one's gonna let you.
They're
So
conspiracy theories, man.
Okay, well,
Nobody
on
knows the
that
answer.
morbid note,
no, I think it's a nice
to wrap
note.
up, you're never going to fucking change anything.
Yeah.
Your efforts don't mean anything.
Right.
Like,
So
Maddie.
focus on the people around you in your day-to-day life and enjoy and take it day by day, and don't mind the aliens. They'll reach out when they feel like it.
You saved that very well.
When it's the right
Very
time, they'll
well.
reach out.
But all that being said, I hope this got some internal gears of yours turning. I hope we gave you some food for thought. I know we always jump all over the place during these podcasts, but if we were not all ADHD, I don't think we'd mesh as well as we do.
Facts.
That being said, let us know in the comment section. Look at this. That being said, let us know in the comment section what your favorite conspiracy theory is and why. And if you have any questions about the ones that we were just talking about, feel free to let us know. If it's about JFK, send it Riley's way. If it's about the
100%.
inner Earth, send it to Maddie. And if it's about alien civilizations, add me and Maddie in a group chat. Even
Or
Riley,
just
we'll all
go
talk
on
about it.
Reddit or YouTube. Just look it up. It's
I was trying to
fun.
be cute.
But yeah, yeah.
You guys always hate when I try to be cute. That being said, tune in next week. I'm tired of trying to be myself and having them shut it down. I guess I'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Bye.